On va parler d'une comédie musicale cultissime et que peut-être vous ne connaissez pas. Pourtant, elle a une aura exceptionnelle à travers le monde, raison pour laquelle il y a une tournée, alors j'allais dire des stades, sauf que chez nous, ça ne sera pas dans un stade, ça sera à l'Arena de Genève, Les Misérables, ou plutôt Les Mis, comme on dit à l'international. Et c'est rare de pouvoir dire que dans ce studio, il y a Jean Valjean, Killian Donnelly, bonjour.
Bonjour.
Et avec nous, Javert, Bradley Jaden, bonjour à vous.
Bonjour.
Now we're going to switch to English as
I
it's
love the way
much
you
more
said Les
comfortable.
Misérables. I love that, and say Jean Valjean.
That's how you're
I
supposed to
love
say
it. I love it.
Les
because
Misérables.
I'm Irish, so I've kind of butchered it in the past, going John Valjean. But more and more that I'm in Les Mis.
On stage or?
No,
okay.
no.
Wanted to make sure.
When I got offered the role many years ago, but when I'm in the show, I've been in and out of the show, God, over the last like 15 years, probably about 5-6 times, and I've just absorbed everything that comes in it.
So how does that work? Because we're going to talk about the aura of the show. But first of all, as you just said, it's been with you for 15 years. How do you stay fresh on stage, going every night, singing your heart out? Because that's the thing with a musical. You act, you sing, you dance, you do everything at once. So how do you stay fresh, both of you?
Well,
you look fresh.
With something like Les Mis, you will always find something new. There's never one show of Les Mis that's the exact same. Everyone says that when they go and see it. So we approach it differently. And then when you're lucky to get paired, like I am, with someone like Brad, you instantly can try new things. And it's just looking into each other's eyes, going, I'm going to try this, or you're going to try that. And you just go with it. It's a trust. But Les Misérables is one of the few shows where you can bring something new to it every day, and it's still as fresh.
And I think it also comes from the incredible score as well. You know, when you've got an amazing musical director who is also, you know, even though you are playing the same notes every day and it's the same show, you can feel a different energy that comes from the orchestra. And, you know, especially in this version, when we have a 30-piece orchestra, which is just unbelievable, the sound that kind of comes from it is just this like wave that just bellows over the body, and you're like, oh, here we go, we're going for it. Do you know what I mean? So it's and it just literally every night feels like a different thing. The audience reaction gives you a new buzz. You know, we've been so lucky to play in front of thousands of people already on this tour, and it's completely changed the whole aspect of this show for us. So it's been amazing.
Because that's the thing that we maybe don't fully understand or even grasp here. It's the aura of that show. It's been playing since 1985 in London, no stop, except for the pandemic, but everything stopped during the pandemic. I mean, it's crazy. The whole world knows about it. And now you're doing that thing where it's not a concert, it's more than that. It's not a musical, it's more than that as well. So it's very unique. And does it change the way you approach your roles and how you act? Because you play with a different type of venue.
Yeah, well,
I think the thing that's changed for me as well, obviously I've been very lucky that I've played Javert for a numerous amount of time, and with some incredibly talented other actors playing Jean Valjean. But when myself and Killian worked together, even after our first show, we kind of came off stage and we were just like jumping around like little school kids, because we were like, oh my goodness, that's how Les Mis. Yeah, this is how it's meant to feel when you meet the duo. And you know, we're still fresh as a duo, so we're still finding out how we change inflections on things, or how we want to bring something to the table. We want to try something, and some things work and some things don't. But when you do work with like your best mate, and then you're playing on stage, and then you're having a laugh back off stage, and then you get to be so serious on stage, it creates this energy that just trickles down, I think. And you know, even with the ensemble, we've got these brave actors and actresses that are just willing to learn and absorb and try things, and it just has this huge ripple effect across the whole company.
and it is a completely different approach than what we did in the West End, because, as you say, it's a concert version, but I grew up watching the 10th anniversary, and then I was part of the 25th anniversary at the O2, and now we're coming into the 40th year. It's like Cameron McIntosh has said, right, let's combine them and add something to it. So we perform it in a theatrical space, be that an arena, but it's also cinematic because there are screens that have cameras and that are doing real close-ups that has never captured Les Mis like that other than the movie. So that, to have that live, it is a whole new experience. It is another level.
And there is also something to be said about the fact that, well, he's been playing for, again, almost 40 years all around the world. Never with that scale. And I feel like if, again, here in Geneva, even in Switzerland, if we don't see it here and now, we might never see it, basically.
I completely
That's
agree.
what I told you
It's
before.
once in a lifetime.
Yeah, exactly. That's
Once in
why.
a lifetime opportunity to see this. And also, it is the only musical in the world that can do this on this scale, because the music and the songs are so huge and the story is epic that you need a big arena to tell the story. It's been non-stop for 40 years, as you say, in the West End, but it has to be like absorbed by a huge crowd all at once, and that's another level.
Yeah. And it just, you know, even on the scale of it, I always say that this humongous production that can play in front of 10,000 people still can feel like an intimate playhouse, and you still feel like you're being sung to individually, which how they've managed to do that is just a feat in its own.
Because when you go see a musical, you always have music live. Most of it is live. Some of it is pre-recorded. That's how it works nowadays. Here, you have a whole 30
piece orchestra.
Yeah, 30. When do you see that? That's why I was saying it's more than a concert.
Yeah.
Concerts don't even have that nowadays.
It's wonderful, and we are really lucky because in some of the UK venues we've been sharing the role, and we've been able to sit up front and absorb it with the audience and just listen. And you can close your eyes and just listen to this orchestra just absolutely dominate this score, and it's been unbelievable to listen to.
The sound is epic as well. They've put so much attention to the sound of the show.
Which is hard in an arena.
Yeah.
So hard in an arena. We went to the furthest seat in Glasgow and we were standing right at the back, and I took a video of it, and the sound, you could hear a pin drop because we have these new state-of-the-art microphones and you can hear your in-breath. For someone like me who sings Bring 'Em Home, I can walk to like right down into the audience where they have me sing the song, and I take an in-breath and you can hear a pin drop. And that's nerve-wracking, but it's so like such an incredible feeling of going, we are all listening to my breath right now. Here we go.
Yeah.
And then a 30-piece orchestra is behind you waiting for it. That's never been done before.
Yeah.
So when you have this state-of-the-art technology, you sing these songs that are so well-known. I mean, Les Mis, you said Bring 'Em Home. You also have, I'm thinking of like I Dream the Dream, for example, that is extremely well-known. Everyone know them, and sometimes you haven't even seen the musical, and yet you still know that. I'm going back to that because that is so unique.
Yeah.
It's one of the, you know, it's been seen. This score, I think, has been sung in 27 languages. So, you know, it's a show that's been done in 46 cast recordings. So it's over its time, it's been seen by so many people, over 3 million, and it's just amazing that so many people keep coming back. So many people haven't seen this show, but then the chord strike of One Day More, and you can hear from 5,000 people because they know what song's about to happen. Or as Killian would say, Killian will walk down to the front of the stage and the first chords will start for Bring Him Home, and you can hear like people ruffling in their chairs because they were like, come on then, sing my favourite song. And it is
Sing to me.
Yeah, it's sing to me because, and people come up to us, you know, we were at breakfast the other day and this gentleman said, oh, you know, my father passed away and we had Bring Him Home, you know, at the funeral. And he was just like, we had to come and see the show, you know, pay respect to our father and stuff like that. And it was just like, all these people have these personal moments with this show, not just from watching it, but be it one of these incredible songs that Claude Michel and Alain Babille have written, and we
feel so lucky to be like custodians of that.
Exactly.
We get to carry that torch.
And a musical in general, you need to know how to do everything, basically, and everything can be a musical. I mean, literally, you have been Shrek in Shrek the Musical, which was great, by the way, and you were the Phantom in the Phantom of the Opera. That's how broad musicals can be. That's the thing. And then you have Les Mis. How was your first interaction with Les Misérables? Les Misérables, as we're supposed to say. How did you basically find out about it? Were your kids singing the...
I was introduced to it by my father. My father gave me a CD of Colin Wilkinson, who was the original Jean Valjean. And he's Irish, and I'm Irish. And I heard Bring 'Em Home for the first time. So at the age of 11, I was introduced to the song Bring 'Em Home. Then what happened years later is I discovered it's part of a show called Les Misérables. And then it wasn't until 2008, when I was about 24, 25, that I saw the show for the first time. And just like you just mentioned, I knew a few songs, but pieced together. But I was about 11 when I was introduced to it.
Mine just came, my sister was a trained opera singer, so she used to listen to lots of classical stuff, but she also did kind of cross over into musicals. And I remember she had this CD of the complete symphonic orchestra version of it. And I remember like the booklet, which was like black and it had like the stamp of Cosette on the front. And I remember like reading this booklet and thinking, what is this? And then she would play it and I was just like, you know, we had people like Con Wilkinson and you were just like, that voice was just, you know, to hear like a real solid man's voice. It was just kind of, that was able to kind of make you feel like you were having a bit of a lullaby. It was amazing and be so personal.
Claude Michel Schoenberg told me a brilliant story about Bring 'Em Home, where they hadn't got the song when the show first started, and it was in previews. And Cameron McIntosh said to him, "We're forgetting about Jean Valjean in Act 2 because we don't have a song." And Claude Michel, as he always is, just so cool. He's the coolest man on the planet. And he went, "I'll write you a song. I'll write you a song." And Cameron went, "Have you got the song?" Days and days go by. And he go, I've got it. I hadn't got it, he said. But then he just said he walked by the dressing room and heard Colin Wilkinson sort of singing quietly to himself in this high register. And he said, "Ooh, I haven't written a song for that part of Colin's voice. I know what I'll do. I'll write for that." And he wrote Bring 'Em Home. Like, that's unbelievable to write the greatest song in musical theatre.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Is it, like, obviously we will say no, but is it a job? You tour the world with the most famous musical
it's not a
comedy,
job.
you know what I mean?
Honestly, it is a gift.
We're in Geneva right now.
Yeah, we've just
We're in
been
Geneva
flown
talking to you.
over to talk to you, Ben.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's not a job in any...
Yeah, it's a gift for you guys.
Yeah, exactly. It absolutely is. You know, the music starts and, you know, you are part of a small cog in this huge machine of Les Misérables, and you are able to stand there with this incredible company and orchestra singing the greatest musical in the world. It's not a job.
I tell you where, and do you know what? It is tough. That's the thing, because we always talk about this. You have to respect it because it has to be sung big. So you have to look after your voice. You sort of become a bit of an athlete when you're in musical theatre. As you say, you have to do all three. But you have to look after yourself. It's not like we're rock stars performing in arenas and then we all go out. We literally go home. Me and him go home, we steam, and then we have a little chat, and then the best thing you can do is have a good night's sleep.
So I never thought I would ask that question, but what's your morning routine, basically? Because you have to train and take care of your voice. What's the pre-show ritual?
Well, mine is, like today, I was up at the gym at 5 o'clock. Went to the gym, worked out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Then Killian met me there.
Mine is very different. I have to sleep for my voice. I'd love to go to the gym, but I have to sleep for my voice. No, I love my sleep, but a steam is the best thing for your voice. You drink lots of water and you look after yourself. Also, we were talking about this the other day. Bradley at breakfast said, "I'm really happy my voice is now sitting in the Javert place." And I knew exactly what he meant, because I would probably usually talk up here on the day-to-day, and now I'm back singing Valjean and it has dropped to here. And that's me looking after it, and the two of us have conversations like this. "Hi, Bradley. How was your morning?" Bonjour.
Bonjour. Les
Bonjour.
I want you to say that properly. Les Misérables.
Les Misérables. Do you go bleu at the end?
Les Misérables.
Yeah, Les Misérables.
À Genève.
À Genève.
Are you good with dates in French or not?
Me.
So I'll do it myself. Du 30 octobre au 3 novembre à l'Arena de Genève, Les Misérables.
Les Misérables.
Avec your character names.
Jean Valjean.
Javert.
Killian Donnelly, Bradley Jaden. What's next for you guys when you tour the world with Les Mis? How do you...
I know, it's kind of set us up for an
Everything will be
fail.
dull. Sorry to say that. But...
No, absolutely it will. The phone will ring. It's going, "You're after getting this musical." Amazing, fantastic. Where am I off to? Well, you're off to the West End. Oh, and then? Well, you're doing West End. Not to say the West End. But it is this amazing gift that's been given to us, and we are traveling the world with this.
I think one of the negatives, especially in our line of work, is when you are an actor, you kind of have that date, and it's like, oh, that's when your job will stop, and then you start to look for other jobs. But I say to Kills, like, a lot of the time I'm just trying to be as present as I possibly can be, and I'm not even worried about what comes. If something happens next year or another opportunity comes, I'll grab it with both hands. Do you know what I mean? But right now, all of my energy and all of Killian's energy is just into the show, and we're not thinking about the next job, because we don't want this special moment to pass us by and think, oh, we're too busy worrying about something else.
And also we go into the next auditions or the next jobs with Jean Valjean and Javert on our CVs. And that is a badge of honor that you just walk in with a little bit more confidence going, I just did that. Yeah.
Le phénomène musical, Arena Musical Spectacular, Les Misérables. Rendez-vous à l'Arena de Genève. Ne manquez pas ça parce que ça sera un moment unique au monde pour ce spectacle qui a quasiment 40 ans. Un moment exceptionnel à vivre comme on vient de le vivre. Merci beaucoup, messieurs. Thank you very much.
Merci.
La journée finit bien sur Radio Lac
avec Benjamin Smadja.
avec Benjamin Smadja.